Hey guys, I'm here. Welcome back for episode 6 of season 1 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. The last episode saw Skye's true intentions of joining up with S.H.I.E.L.D. come to light, though it didn't come willfully. You know, she got found out, she got caught in her own little scheme, if it were, and now the trust between her and the team is now very much so fractured. So I'm very curious to see how that will be mended, what lengths she'll need to go to kind of, you know, repair that bridge, because it was definitely hard to watch, seeing like how everybody had kind of given themselves to her in a lot of ways, and then to kind of be betrayed throughout the machinations of the last episode, you know. And you can kind of see how it weighed on everybody, you know, especially Coulson, who vouched for her the entire time, and she's simply looking for her parents, you know. So I feel like at this point, you know, she probably could have come clean and saved herself a lot of time, but unfortunately she didn't get the chance to do that. But I'm curious to see how things evolve and develop from this point further. So let's go ahead and strap in. Guys, if you want to see the full-length reaction, check it out over on Patreon, or if you become a member of the channel, get you access as well. It's a watch-along format, so you will need your own footage to sync up the time codes and reaction the entire episode. Over there, you also get to suggest and vote on what movies to react to each month. We got monthly Q&As, behind-the-scenes footage, trying to make it worth your while. So sure, go to way to support the channel. But guys, I'd really appreciate it if you enjoy this reaction to leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe if you're not already. And before we get into this, I want to thank the guys over at Prepper for helping me edit down these highlights for you guys over here on YouTube. And with that all said and out of the way, let's go ahead and hop into episode 6. Here we go.
No one exactly knows what happened to the crime man that summer, but others say that they've seen his ghost wandering these woods in search for his lost sister.
You can still hear him crying.
You know, I've never actually been camping.
Stay here. I'm gonna take a look around the campground.
Where's Mr. Cross going?
He's just trying to scare us. All right, these are for you. Tommy, I know you like chocolates.
Oh. Electricity.
Go!
Electromagnetism. Oh! Car battery. What the hell? Or did it suck the battery out of their car?
Mr. Cross! Let's go look for him. Stay close.
Yeah, I'm rewatching the X-Files again because I'm still riding that convention high. This is a very X-Files-y opening, even if it has a little bit of a bubblegum flavor to it. Nope, there it is. Wow, whoa, what's going on? Interesting. Suspended, though, by static electricity?
Working up a good sweat there, sir?
I don't sweat. I glisten.
I just noticed from your chart that you're not due for a general physical for another 3 months. You can officially tell your physical therapist that you're fit as their proverbial fiddle, especially for a man of your age.
Man of my age? That's something you say to an old person.
Well, let's get you some electrolytes, shall we?
Interesting.
Agent Coulson had no problems.
It's an ounce too heavy. It's the difference between success and failure. When you're on a rooftop with a 15-mile-an-hour wind, your target is 500 yards away.
Yeah, but we do have a rifle.
I'm Agent Graham Ward. I could shoot the legs off a flea from 500 yards, as long as it's not windy.
Hey, that's a sound I haven't heard in a bit.
You wouldn't be laughing a whole lot if you were living in Ward's doghouse?
You made the rounds. Apologized to us all. What more can he ask?
I don't know.
Oh, that's all she needed to do? I mean, fair. I mean, it wasn't a huge deal, I guess.
I even let them tag me like a stray dog. I mean, I know I lied to you guys, but I was trying to protect my boyfriend.
You know, we all make mistakes.
Like having boyfriends.
At least with Miles, I didn't have to worry about passive-aggressive stuff. You and Simmons are so tight. It's like you're psychically linked.
No, you didn't know? Actually, no, I don't think so.
Aw, does he got a crush?
I could rupture your spleen with my left pinky, blindfolded.
It's dead on.
Hustle up and grab your gear. We're on a mission. Something funny?
Not at all.
He mistakenly left a dummy round in the pistol. Should be proper now.
Great. Thanks.
Wow.
Troop leader's name was Adam.
Wow.
Went to check it out. That's where the electrostatic anomaly occurred.
Usually they're caused by a massive electrical storm.
But there wasn't a storm within 1,000 miles of here last night.
This anomaly's different.
Was Giovanni Ribisi around?
The battery blew straight up through the hood.
Okay,
over here.
that is what happened.
There's scorch marks all over that tree.
Seems to me like this electroshock thingy was some freak lightning strike. I mean, why call us? What's the big... Never mind.
Oh, he's still here.
Any idea what could cause an effect like this?
Well,
the solid
judging by
hypothesis,
the horizontal
perhaps
electrical
nanobatteries.
discharge,
Time. Let's try that again.
Fitz, see his forehead. Look at that endothelial discoloration.
Yeah, same dispersal pattern as the strike on the truck.
Could be an entry wound, cauterized immediately.
Oh,
The victim.
Adam Cross, single, no kids, originally from Wrigley, Pennsylvania. Not far from here.
They have a nice little strawberry festival in the spring. Occupation?
alrighty.
And varsity baseball coach and troop leader and volunteer firefighter. This guy makes Captain America look like the dude. The big
Lebowski.
Seriously?
You've been pretty tough on her.
She lied to us. Contacted the Rising Tide while we were on mission.
Put it up on the server. I want May to have a look when she's done with her interrogation.
Have a cookie.
Are those Girl Scout cookies? Otherwise, those are the cookies of the enemy.
The only thing I'm afraid of is putrid, decaying flesh corrupting my pristine workspace. Remember the last time you brought a dead thing into the lab?
Oh, not this stupid cat again.
The
and
cat.
it's our lab.
You left his liver next to my lunch.
Guys,
Oh,
can we please?
ew. Wait,
Yes, sir.
ew. Both aw and ew.
It's the victim's brain.
Looks like a burnt baked
Oh
potato.
God.
That's what happens when it's hit with close to 2,000 megajoules of electrostatic energy. That's almost double the power of a lightning bolt.
I mean, I feel like that would have done a lot more to a human brain.
Have to dissect something.
No, the satellite's picking up another electrostatic event, not 20 kilometers from here.
I love their back and forth, man.
Door's barred from the inside.
Airlock's open.
We could ram it with the truck.
We got another one.
Whoever did this couldn't have gotten far.
Do we know it's a person and not like a vehicle that's like traversing the area?
2 victims. Same firehouse. Found in the same weird way.
We're looking for a killer.
Interesting. Oh, it looks like a Chitauri helmet, right? That's kind of what it looks like. It's like anything that disrupts the bubble drops them out of it.
Agent Phil Coulson with S.H.I.E.L.D. We were on the ground with you in New York.
What's this all about?
We'd like to ask you a few questions. Take a look around.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Look who it is.
A scented candle.
Not you.
Frankie's dead?
I'm very sorry. The same way your other friend, Mr. Cross, died the day before.
I'm actually not feeling so hot.
Cover the back door. Nobody comes in or out.
Well, the counselor guy we saw didn't seem like he was off.
Satellite's picking up another reading. It's coming from the firehouse.
Uh-oh. Are they like, did something like infect them? A radiation or something from the debris?
After the Chitauri invasion.
And they're just like
You don't hear that?
popping?
It's driving me nuts.
Mr. Diaz.
Okay. The other guy did hear something. Nobody else could. Oh!
Whatever you're doing, make it stop. Where's the weapon?
The what?
Coulson, I found it. Fitzsimmons, are you seeing
Okay, it
this?
is. But what's the correlation?
Sir, he's at 600 megajoules and climbing.
Clear everybody out.
I'm gonna wind up like them, aren't I?
Why don't you have a seat?
Wow, just for wanting to clean it up. Probably shouldn't have it to begin with, but wow. That's shitty.
Is there anyone you want to talk to? Anything I can do?
Sir, you have to get out of there right now. He's going.
Oh.
I've been where you are right now. So please believe me when I tell you, you don't have to be afraid. I got hurt once. Pretty bad. And I died. Some say it was only for 8 seconds, but I know it was more than that. I know I wasn't here anymore.
What's it like?
It's beautiful.
Oh.
You better get going, buddy.
Wow. That's messed up, dude.
What was that?
Those cells tell us is that we're dealing with a propagating virus, which means...
The virus can move from person to person.
Exactly. And that's the most... Can't wait till the virologists at the CDC and S.H.I.E.L.D. HQ see this.
I was under the impression this episode was going to have something to do with Fitz, because it's the episode title is Fitz.
These antibodies should be able to target the virus's antigens. Come on.
No.
I wanted it to be a person. Some superpowered psychopath, someone I could hurt. What I can't do is protect you guys from stuff I can't even see.
So what do we do?
And get ready for whatever it is we're called upon to do.
Nice to see you're not dead.
But I don't need more orders or ultimatums. I need answers.
I wish I had some for you. I'm sorry, Coulson. I've been ordered to inform you that if you have infected cargo, you need to dump it.
What? No.
These orders are coming from up
I'm
top.
sorry, bad connection. Didn't get that last part.
Hey, don't put this on me. I was doing just fine tucked away in a safe indoor non-mobile lab at the academy. Then you had to go and drag us into this flying circus. Didn't even pass our field assessments, for God's sake.
Oh, please, as if I forced you to follow me anywhere.
You said, and I quote, "Oh, Fitz, it's the most perfect opportunity for us to see the world."
I hate it when you use that voice. That's not even how I sound. And you were just afraid of going into the field. And don't you dare.
At the academy, at PsyOps, this plane. You've been beside me the whole damn time.
Wait.
You have to fix this.
I don't know how, Fitz. The antibodies from the 3 firefighters aren't strong enough to fight this virus. It's born from alien DNA. There's no one to create an anti-serum from, because no one's actually survived this except Chitauri. She was just the carrier, like Typhoid Mary.
She? Well, no, wait. That, you don't really think that...
Fitz!
No,
They're gonna have to do it together, though.
It's done.
No.
Fitz, I don't know what you think you're doing.
I'm doing what we always do. We're gonna fix this. Together.
No.
I can't breathe. We did.
Poof! Oh, no! I was kidding. God damn it.
We're making progress. If we can calibrate the anti-serum.
Anti-serum, yes.
Oh.
What are our orders? They're unchanged.
Someone's lowering the cargo hold ramp.
Hey, it worked.
Oh, oh,
The rat on conch.
oh, no, no! Wow.
The anti-serum worked, but she jumped.
He's like, I could do this. Dude, put on your squinty face, man. Squint harder. You go faster that way.
realize you were trying to save the team. But what you did today, that was not your call. Just getting you out of the water. Do you have any idea what a pain it is dealing with the Moroccan office? Don't you ever pull a stunt like that again. We'd hate to lose you, Jemma.
Thank you, sir. Oh, does that mean we're to leave now? Good a time as any to tell you that I may have misled you earlier. You see, when I gave you back the night-night pistol, still an ounce off.
I know.
No, wait, what? Aw.
I'm Agent Grant Ward. I just jumped out of a plane without a parachute on and saved your life.
Actually, that's not quite it. It's a bit more nasally than that.
No.
Blood work finally came back. I'm perfectly normal. A little heavy on the iron, but don't worry. You don't have to start calling me Iron Man.
Wasn't planning on it.
The extra iron was from the blade to the chest.
My doctors never requested any tests. I ordered them for myself, but you knew that.
Also means you can't trust that either.
The point of these things is to remind us that there is no going back.
You're the hero.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
What was that?
But whatever did happen doesn't give you license to disobey a direct order from HQ. Hey, keep pulling stunts like that. Someone might decide to take this little dream team away from you.
I'd like to see them try.
That doesn't sound like the Phil Coulson I used to know.
No, I suppose it doesn't. Get used to it.
Interesting. Dude, that might be my favorite episode of the season so far. It had all the things like I just love, you know, it had our ticking clock, it had our stakes, it had that word like tangible, like an actual threat. We also had emotional stakes. We had characters kind of humbling themselves, opening themselves, also relying on themselves. Again, kind of like what I said in the last one, it felt like, like it was pulling something like this where it was putting like one of our own, potentially a death's door like this at episode 6. And I would say that like arguably for most shows, I would say like by this point, I don't know if, I would be remiss to find myself this emotionally invested in any of these characters to do something like this and still get the response it got out of me. When it came down to them trying to fight for Fitz, for Simmons, after she got infected, and then you see how that's like weighing on everybody, like I felt so much of that. And maybe it's because I'm spacing out these episodes like this, because it feels like I've spent more time with these characters than I realistically have. But like you feel the struggle, you felt the pain, even though this is only the 6th episode that we've been here with these characters, it was very, I don't know, it was very grounded and rooted in this very human and real experience, this potential loss of a loved one, of a friend, of a team member, a partner, a part of your family. And then you really, I think maybe a lot of that comes from that duality, that package deal that is Fitz and Simmons, A lot of that is baked into just those two characters, their history and their relationship, their dynamic, their trust, as well as their frustrations. It was a lot of that is just kind of melded in, especially just how we're introduced to them, basically as almost a singular entity, because of how interconnected they are. So like you understand that how precious that duo is to one another. So like when that is potentially going to be split up, it's easy to tap into those emotions. So I think like there's an element of just beautiful acting throughout this, as well as a nice little steady pace throughout of building, escalating tension. On top of just the way the characters and everything are framed and positioned that just make this so digestible, even if we're only in like the early days of knowing these characters. It all worked very, very well. And I talked about this felt like the opening of an X-Files episode. And this is a format for this episode that is very common. Is something we've run into a lot. And I think they did a really good job with it because, it's always like interesting to like when there's like a contagion element of a storyline like this where, it can't get out. If it gets out, more people will die. And then it comes down to potentially infecting one of our characters. And then I think it's always fun when it's the person who has to do the solving, who is also the one that is infected, because it also puts the weight on the execution even more. Because if they're going to get it done, they got to get it done. They got to test it on themselves. They got to do all this stuff. It just elevates every little segment of it. And I like the way they brought it about, the way they did that, because it also like the focus on mortality throughout the episode, because it was a nice little way to have the team tackle this sort of thing, but then also kind of relate it back in on Coulson and what he's been through. One, his own personal experience with death and his own kind of wrestling with what that means for him now. And I like that little scene with him, spending his that man's final moments at the fire station with Coulson, who was like, hey, I've been where you're at. And, he told him like, it was peaceful on the other side and all that. And it was like, I was gone, that relationship to him, that compassion. It was a beautiful, beautiful scene. And then the way they kind of did the bait and switch with the vaccine failing the first time, or when they finally started working on it together. Also the sacrifice of Fitz throwing himself into the cage, into the lion's den with Simmons, because he's not going to let her do it on her own. She needs help. And he's like, risks be damned, went in there to help her regardless. And, the way they played with our expectation about the rat, it was like, oh, it seemingly worked. And then the delay, and then the flash, and then the rat was he did the thing, like made us think it failed, but that it was just a temporary thing to get us again when it comes back and realize it just knocked it out and it dissipated and now it's cured. So like we had a multitude of layers to that. And then while they're all working on everything, this is all the heady, viral, whatever the hell stuff is going on in the lab where, Skye and Coulson, May and Ward, none of them, this isn't really their field. They can't do anything except watch and observe. And you get to see Ward, who's still kind of very much so, seems to be at this point, don't know how much time has passed between last episode and now, but for the most part, it seems like most people have just gotten over the hump of Skye's lie, except for Ward at the beginning of the episode. But then you kind of have them come back together, reestablish a little bit of that connection over their mutual inability to help as one of their own is potentially going to die. And that moment was just so sweet. And then May, who, especially after the one episode with his previous protege, realizing something's different about Coulson, May's been kind of wondering the same thing. She's been noticing he's rusty. She's been noticing all these little differences. And then, he's also trying to hide that because he's also feeling off and questioning stuff about himself. And then she's coming together and talking to him about it. There's just so much and so many little interpersonal things going on with the team that are just really, really well done. But it also is done in a way, it just feels like we've been here longer than we have. But it doesn't feel forced. It doesn't feel like it's, unearned, where any other show I may have watched at this point, only in the 6th episode in, maybe might feel like that. I think they've done a really good job at mitigating all of that and making this just a really touching and lovely little script. The direction of the episode is great. The acting throughout the episode was really good. And I like that it was, once the stakes were set and, we got the cure and all that, and all it took was to get that cure to Simmons. I like that they kind of juxtapose that a little bit with the hokiness of Ward's I must squint harder to go faster face as he's skydiving after her. That was the right amount of goofy to kind of remedy the situation as well. My question, though, to you guys, and this may be, I don't want anybody talking about anything that happens later, but, you know, at the way the opening of the episode and the end of the episode kind of frame Fitz differently. Obviously, he was in the lab alone when we ran into him. Seemed like he was flirting with Skye, and he had that off-the-cuff comment in the last one where he's like, she didn't tell us she had a boyfriend. Like, he was kind of like personally betrayed about that, and then he's also trying to like play himself up a little bit, and then making fun of Ward. You know, he was getting in there until his big sis came in, Simmons, and kind of started to cramp his style a little bit. It seemed like that's the way he was going, but then throughout the episode, it's also like, it was almost like this realization that he's always had this person with him. Because he also used that as a weapon as they were both coming at each other. They were trying to dig into each other in their own frustrations of the situation. But then it ends with that little kiss from her at the end, and then it just lingering in on him. I'm just wondering if that was intentional. Like, is there supposed to be a framing? Like, that's what Skye might be who he thinks he wants in the moment, but then maybe there's this person that's always been following him around. I'm always iffy, wishy-washy on some of those tropes, if that could go either way for me sometimes. And right now, I don't know which way they were leaning in that. And maybe that was something I was projecting into those scenes. But did anybody else pick up on that as well? I'm just kind of curious about that whole thing. And again, I love how Coulson stands by his team, and he's upset that they took this into their own hands, was willing to give up potentially when they had this all on their own, because he puts his faith in his team. And yeah, I don't know. This was a fun episode. Fun episode. Barring the morbid nature of the opening with the just the sad deaths of those firefighters, man. It's a shitty way to go too for something like that, for you to just scrub a helmet you got left over. I mean, it's irresponsible of them to have had that helmet, let alone been allowed to keep that helmet. I mean, the chaos of the Battle of New York, I'm sure it's happened. You can't keep track of everything, but that's such a random thing too. Electrostatic virus that got activated from the friction of them just polishing it. And then those three are all now dead. It just sucks, dude. That was a great little story, man. This was a borderline X-Files episode. And maybe that's one of the other reasons I really, really liked it. Because there's a number of episodes that this kind of had parallels from. I referenced a couple in there when it was still the electrostatic thing. And then it turned into a whole other one. It was fun. It was fun. There was a lot of parallels. But yeah, guys, what'd you guys think of the episode? Sound off in the comments. Let me know your thoughts down below. We'll carry on the conversation after the video. Hope you enjoyed this reaction. If you did, leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe if you're not already. Or if you want to see the full length reaction, check it out over on Patreon, or if you become a member of the channel, get you access as well. And speaking of before we go, I want to shout out our channel legends: Manny, Cher, Ryan, Karen, York, Coruscant, Margaret, Grace, Melito, Robert Anguiano, Jeffrey, Hale, M. Sephiroth, Jake and Trail, Eric Official, and Amy Becca. Thank you guys so much for your continued support. But that's it for this video, guys. I'll see you all in the next one. Take care, everybody.